Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. I hope you're all doing extremely well. Welcome to another episode of the Spiritual Bro Show. I'm Dr. Amir, and with my esteemed brother and colleague, Drago Reed, we're your spiritual bros. So today we've got an extraordinary guest, Sean Bond. Not that he would need an introduction, but the world is big and we live and we learn. So Sean is a world class psionic, meaning all psychic abilities active and online. He's the founder of the Psionic League. He is a super soldier. He is a cosmic level wizard with unbelievable proficiency, and he's fast. Amongst the large collective of beautiful beings on Earth, he's one of the first people I would go to if I need help. So, Sean, this is just a small introduction. Welcome.
Thank you for having me. Awesome. Good to be with other spiritual bros and go into some big topics for people. Yeah, what kind of things do you like to get into on the show? You go into divine masculine, what kind of like avenues? Because I know I've interviewed both of you, so like secret space program, aliens, super genetics, psionic abilities, wizardry, healing, all kinds of stuff. So I'm open to all that and more. So
Well,
yeah, let's get the ball rolling.
let's just go where the conversation takes us. Now I've got 2222 on the clock here, so all auspicious. We got the wink from the beloved divine. I think this is going to be an extraordinary interview.
So Sean,
Great.
I've known you a pretty good long while, and it was through Penny Bradley that I first heard your name. And in the beginning, something something made me avoid you. I don't know what it was, and I felt it was a form of targeting. And after a while, I locked onto that energy. I felt like it was something preventing me from wanting to connect with you because it was going to benefit me. And then I contacted you. I got to know you over time. I saw you and your wife at conferences, and you did a lot of work for me. You've helped me through a lot of stuff. A lot of the times I'm going through stuff that only Amir knows about, like physical attacks and what's going on with my body, and like stuff that I've accumulated over time through the secret space program, getting my body beaten and bludgeoned. And like over time, I realized that there's very few people in life that have true abilities, and two people, I'm sitting in front of the two most powerful wizards I've ever met in my life. And to have both of you on a show talking right now means a lot because like I recommend you guys all the time because I believe in both of you. And I believe in you guys so much. I trust in you to know some of the most private things about me and to even identifying who my handlers are in my life, which it was kind of shocking to hear that originally, but like you guys all confirmed it all on the same day. So like everybody needs to get a viewing from both of these guys. I will vouch 100% for these guys' abilities. And just like Amir was saying, both Sean and Amir's abilities are instantaneous. And Sean goes on this like emotional journey and like he's there with you. He can see it, he can sense the emotions, and like
Yeah.
he can connect in ways that you just don't see very often. And this is why he's the founder of the Sonic League. So I guess getting into the people that don't know who Sean is, the biggest crux of the question is who is Sean Bond behind the scenes? Who are you energetically, galactically, spiritually on Earth?
Big question, and thank you for that. And great introductions, guys. Very honored. Yeah, I love interacting with you guys. Very powerful individuals making the planet better. Really appreciate you existing and being here, and doing the great work. Oh man. Yeah, and yeah, and any time you guys need help with anything, I'll also love seeking you guys out for advice and information. So, likewise. Who am I? Man. Well, I don't really, it. You know how it is. If you start talking about yourself, it kind of gets to where it's like isolating or feel his ego up to me. So I just like try to be the best me I can be and live by example and by getting results and making an impact in this world and for helping people that I can. I've been told a lot of things about myself. It's a lot of people have different perceptions they tell me about myself. So it's fairly flattering. So yeah. And yeah, I understand that thing where there are attacks that prevent connecting. I have had that with many people. I honestly just like read into it and see it like, oh, there's this presence that tries to make me avoid talking to a person and all that. And whatever negative energy, I just take it as either I really need to talk to them or and then I look out for more data on like their personality and what they're doing and their information and how it would benefit who I know them from. And then go from there. But yeah, there's a lot of things trying to separate soul family. So I'm glad you got past that and we were able to connect because I had a lot of visions and dreams and interacting with you and memory retrieval. So yeah, what else I can say? I mean, I go into reverse engineering superhuman abilities, founder of Psionic League. I form a group of hundreds of people around the planet, uh, powerful people such as yourself that want to bring a psionic renaissance back to this planet that can solve all our problems, minor or matter, solve the spiritual battles, take back sovereignty over in ourselves, our body, mind, spirit, emotions, soul, etc., and expansion of the evolution of humanity. Who find out what is humanity, the secrets of the world. I like exploring things. Also, amateur archaeologist, going in that I've been gifted with manifesting ability to manifest crazy shit that I didn't know was an option on the table, such as alien artifacts. And digging those up quite a number. We're doing documentaries and foundations and museum projects coming up with that. A lot of contact, went through a lot of targeting, visitations, abductions, both by ETs and military, and things trying to kill me to the point where I said no more. And I used it to, well, if there's spiritual stuff, I know there's people with abilities. So when we test that and then things worked and being able to counter those forces, on offense, defense, astral combat, resolving, banishing demons, capturing them, clearing them, purifying them, um, kicking their ass, and then going to being combining war strategies with love and amplifying positive emotions, becoming a healer, stopping pain, death, negative energy coming at me, and being able to control it. Then the oppositional force, then tracking it back to the thing sending it at me, improve psychic tracking. Being able to take down demons, send them to quarantine realms, go to figuring out how they work, how evil works, how things became evil, then being able to reach deep in their heart with goodness, love, and healing, and then bring them to where all the war ceases. That what really stopped a lot of targeting for me is getting those things to not have a motivation anymore to come at me and then figure out what that is. Then going up to the hierarchies and the apex multidimensional predators, exploring all the different skill sets they have, and then making a counter, also learning myself, turning into a good form. Becoming friends with lots of beings, learning telepathy, contacting them, amplifying my third eye to see more, remote view, and see what's going on in the game, what's at our disposal, what's the missions, the level ups, the boss battles, the things going on here, the history, Akashic record reading, going into what is Earth, what is humanity, this super hybrid of 10,000 plus races and the overpowered, limitless psionic potential of our species and how many limits are being put on us, control factors, past lives, going into reading that and integrating into the power, going up to the level of the targeting that I'm getting and what was needed to stop it, and then helping people and learning, like taking on challenges, facing enough of the worst things I've ever could imagine to where I'm not afraid of anything anymore. And then it's getting everything getting easier, manifesting an interesting life, helping people as much as I can, and then it just keeps going with more secrets of this reality. So as much as the topics are that I can get into, especially things that barely anyone knows, is what I love, and I love blowing my mind. That's what I dive into, and like level ups to the level where I can do. I want to get to where I can do crazy things in this realm that I know I've experienced in other places, other realms, other dream realms, astral, other planets, visitation. I'm sure you have a lot in the super soldier program and what there's like compartmentalized shackling on our abilities and being able to use it this life and be an example for that. So that's kind of the gist of it. How about
Well,
you?
wow. That's an incredible journey you've been on. So Sean, where did this all begin? Um, you mentioned that you've been targeted and being on the receiving end of much wickedness. When did you awaken? Were you born awakened? What age was it that you discovered that and foremost you have psionic abilities? Then what was your journey towards really bringing them online, bringing them to a point where they're functional so then you can continue on your journey of evolution? Where did it all begin?
Nice. I love the questions. Early on, I had different visitations, imaginary friends, quote unquote. Um, this extra-dimensional witch that would visit me like at an early age, and then every few months would visit me, and then every year, and even now, and then take me to this weird, I don't know, pocket dimension village that connects to the backyard meadows of my old house and other places, and the place doesn't exist, and it's weird when I go back there because it's just freaks me out because I've been there so many times, remember a lot, and there's all these stores and shops, a movie theater, and a fire station, and different village people. Anyway, so there's that. Some different ETs visiting me. Remember that. Especially the Murthers. We're okay with remembering a lot. This short kind of gray that's very empathic and loving. And oh yeah, so it's like this matrix is, or you probably know that it's like this pressure, this matrix that like thrusts down on us. And when people are having big experiences, that would come down on me a lot and try to get me to forget about them. And then also change the subject. And then I would forget, it would just like drift away from my mind. There's no one I can really talk to about it. People I did would kind of just like not know what to say, would just like be starry-eyed and change the subject, couldn't talk about parents. So I ended up just not, and there's no internet, there's not really anything you can do in researching this stuff. So I ended up just sometimes getting little bits from like movies and stuff and remembering. At like 11, I think, I think 9 actually, I saw Harry Potter, and then I was like enmeshed in that. I was like, whoa, holy shit. Because that was like the first kind of more wizardy kind of thing that I came across. And then in different things, people ask me, what do I want to be when I grow up? I want to be a wizard. And I was just waiting around for like, oh yeah, there's gotta be some like teacher that'll come by. And then eventually I was realizing, oh, this world doesn't really believe in magic, or it's like it's this thing that's like beaten out of you that it's possible. So then, just doing the indoctrination school for a while, and when you get out of that, then I had more mystical experiences again, but had the internet and I was able to explore it, exploring like what are aliens, UFO sightings, the angels, the demons, the I saw a lot of Qigong videos and people doing interesting superhuman abilities, so that stuck with me. I was able to practice in high school a bit of telekinesis, and I was able to do that after a week or two. I was able to move objects at will, like really small ones. And so, like, first bit, I tried that, and then after a few days, I was researching more, but I found too many skeptical videos. I was like, oh man, is it? Oh, am I just being tricked? But then I saw more real ones. I was like, oh shit. And then after a while, I just realized they're just fucking with people, and they want people not have the abilities, and they just want to suppress, and the governments want power. There was what it's like a research stuff, and I had some different jobs in my teens, and people mentioned the Illuminati, and I didn't know much about that, and the my friend showed me a Illuminati recruitment video, and it had like mentioned 9/11 and doing a bunch of shit. And I was like, oh shit. And then I went down those rabbit holes, and then I just like kept going. And that, like there's a big war, spiritual war over every time somebody wakes up out there. So then you'll come across interesting spiritual things. Uh, had this experience where I was compressed into a mental void space prison realm for like an untold amount of years. And in outside my body, I was unconscious, and it may have been like 15 minutes or something. And it was torturous, and split me into billions of pieces, and sped up in time to where each one of those had experience. And then I was one of myself, and like future selves, and other beings trying to free me from that, able to eventually do it. Then get parts of myself out, went back into, because I've since found this is a thing that they're doing to multiple people, where like it was like the Archon grid and some other fucking false light angel thing trying to put a prison around me and take control of my body, and possess me, and compress it in there. So I was able to free myself from that, and then slowly get all the pieces out. And but I had no idea what the fuck happened with that. It was just I wanted to get out of there. I wanted to avoid thinking about it. It was like being in a bunch of places all at once, and for a really long time. And it was really sad and overwhelming, and a lot of different emotions. But then after that, because I was at a party when that happened, and um, yeah, so I thought it was like maybe some crazy drug experience or something, because it was supposed to, I was given like synthetic weed, even though I thought it was regular weed. And so I was like, fuck that stuff, garbage. I would never do that. But like I wasn't told that, so it was annoying. But so anyway, so I have a fuck ton of like thousands of years old mind from all that and other temporal dilations that happened to me that started changing my personality, and it was integrating, remembering it more and more. Part of the matrix wanted me to forget really badly about it. It wanted to compress it. It wanted me not even to think about it. I didn't even know what it was. And then it started getting triggered more and more, having all these emotions, all this mental thoughts. Every question that came into my mind, I started having the automatic answer to. And so I had all this time and space and reality depth knowledge from this, but only after healing it. So there are these fractured alters. And then, yeah, going through intense suicidal and PTSD emotions, and then being like, what the fuck? Why is this happening? And then eventually, after enough, like wanting to ask that question of why is this happening, and revisiting it, like remembering about that happening to me, and me freaking out about it for a while, and then a lot of attack coming after that. Because apparently, I from that, if I healed it all, I'd become resilient to everything that attacked me, and then immune to it, and then have like a big cure for this planet, which I'm using now. And then,
Yeah.
uh, yeah, anyway, so a bunch of different people I
Extraordinary.
met, different psychedelic experiences, things that amplified my intelligence, tapped to the Akashic record, a lot of animals showing up, talking to me like some other multidimensional being talking through them. Crazy storm and rainbow experiences that just erupted out of nowhere when things started telling me who I was, and then it freaking me out because I was like, oh my God, what do I have to do this? And then yeah, demons attacking me through in like Agent Smith and the Matrix experiences, people showing up with demon attachments, and then those trying to possess me, and it amplifying my emotional body all the way up to I could feel everything deeply and empathically, but like absorb negative energy. So it was awful, and I was crying in the shower, kind of experience, then asking for help. Then my higher self source coming in my body and a dragon spirit version of me, and then to teach me I have the right to defend myself because I was all love and lighty before. And forcing out and then amplifying knowingness, teaching me all this stuff, light language, moving mudras, charging up my fist with chi, and then punching it out of my space. Then the dragons being able to see a multi-dimensional fight in like some type of light plasma, third eye amplification. It was intense. I was like, holy fuck, this is real. And then like knowing that dragon spirits exist, demons, all that. I was most people don't really think they've experienced demons much. To be honest, pretty much everyone has some type of demon attachment thing coming at them, mostly as a harvester. They don't really give a shit if you believe in them or not. They'll exist. There's people like, if you don't believe in them, they don't aren't there. I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. You don't control all of reality. There's all these ancestors and this consensus quote of reality that also is involved in what we exist in, but you do have control of it more. Whatever. And then don't want people to think they exist, to be honest. They don't want you to believe in them. They don't even know want you to know they exist. They just want to steal energy from you, and it will just be headaches and pain and sickness and negative emotions dumped on you and your happiness stolen. If you've experienced that, that's what that is. Now, people, yeah, and so if you challenge them and like you feel like, because like when I first started challenging them, my experience was like I was more feeling everything emotional. I was just came back from a party, but interacted with a really haunted asshole, and then their demon tried to attach me, and I was feeling really weird, and it. I didn't know what I was doing. It felt like I was a puppet on strings. I was being oriented to do stuff that was outside of my sovereignty, and then I started controlling myself and like, hold on a sec, why? And then I started honing in on it with my emotional body and like feeling a heavy presence and then centering into it. And then like, oh, is there some heavy? Is that what is that? And it started like freaking out because like my focus, focus attracts chi and with intention to like question what it is. And it started demonstrating intelligence and reactivity to me and then bombarding me with negative emotion and fear and it's like you better do this and it was like holy shit, this is alive. So then I ended up doing those type of experiences to like learn exorcism tech and like being able to defend myself, and then I went deeper into martial arts. I always loved martial arts, but I didn't know about the spiritual aspect of it and what it can do. And also one time when I first learned capture, this entity tried to possess me, and it was like trying to control my body. Then compressed it into my arm and my hand, and my hand freaked out without me being able to control it. And my future self like knew all these abilities, so it was like helping me with all this stuff. I didn't need to know it at that moment, but have faith in it, and it would. it put like a geometry around it, compressed it down to a portal, and sent it somewhere else, and then it was all gone. And so I learned all these abilities from like these higher dimensional forces that are helping me to teach me how to be able to do this stuff. And then each scenario targeting an attack that kept coming at me, some things to put me into deep chronic fatigue where I couldn't get out of bed. I learned the cure to that and learned how energy harvesting works and learned how to stop that overwhelm of fucking pain like crazy all throughout my different parts of my body. My teeth going like crazy because they're the most sensitive organ. Found out about how pain works and collapsing that. Temporal dilations when something tries, temporal incursion when something tries to incur on your timeline. Be able to stop that, indicated by the teeth pain. The negative emotions dumped on me, happiness stolen from me, every shadow, death, offense, defense, attack, ego, pain, any type of negative energy they sent at me, I had to learn how to master it and then become immune to it, and then went to the point where I could take it off of other people from a distance. Became well known for healing target individuals, and that the eventually later I moved in with super soldiers, so I got very familiar with that world, and it had angels visit me, like the whole thing where master light and dark and understand how it works, and then grow continuously from that. So that's the kind of concept in the
That's
beginning.
that's incredible. If I may just add something, as you were describing the void prison. Uh, well, my magnificent friend, you pulled a distributed denial of service attack on the Matrix. You pulled in all shards of your soul in this universe and basically jumped that node in the Matrix that is your physical body to burn out the local node. And so, as a result, this wonderful human vessel of yours is not a soul shard, or let's say it's not animated by one soul shard anymore. It is animated directly by the infinite soul. And so, though you have presence in other domains of time and dimensions and reality, you have access to all the wisdom in this magnificent body. I've never seen that one pulled off before. That's a kind of incredible. So, you are a victim to no one, and you are the master of your destiny. This is how magnificent wizards are born, ladies and gentlemen. You don't just act in one lifetime, you go across dimensions, all domains of reality, and you pull a fast one on the Matrix. So that's really impressive. Really, really nicely done.
You
Yeah, so
appreciate that.
basically you're an Avenger, a freaking Avenger in real life. And this is what it's like for people in the programs, man, because like people don't realize when they were experimenting on us as kids in these dumbs and facilities with scientists and stuff, these procedures are designed to unlock the potential of your soul, your either through your genetics or through your soul shards, and it acts as a portal with these abilities. So like Sean is basically operating like a modern day Doctor Strange, where you can access his multiverse of other selves and bring all that information into one meditation or a singular thought into one physical vessel. Number one, man,
Wow.
that ability is intense, bro. Like, that is like a god amongst mortal humans. And this is not a lot of people don't talk about this kind of thing where we're in life pretending that we're muggles upon muggles in the land of muggles. You know what I'm saying? We have to pretend that we don't have these abilities because these abilities, like you said, they throttle these abilities. They attack us for these abilities. And the moment we start showing them, they start hitting people close to us, ourself or our animals, and they retaliate. But this has taught me that, man, we are way more powerful than they are. And if we can stop fighting amongst each other, like look at everything you just said. It's mind-blowing. You know, your unique set of abilities and skills are not common amongst the SSP in totality of one person, you know? So that's why Sean, like a lot of people don't know this. this hasn't been talked about a lot publicly, but me and Sean have been in the same units that clear out dumps and rescue children, and we do asset retrieval. And when we go in, man, we're not going in all love and light, like they said. Like Sean says, this whole love and light mentality, it's basically a programming word to make you weak because they program you to think that light is love, and you just send them rainbows and kitten kisses is going to neutralize the evil. If I pretend they don't exist, they don't exist. That's not how it works. I realize that in order to take on the darkness, you have to learn the darkness. You have to learn both the white and the black. Because if you don't know what totality is. And the only way you can have totality is to have all these shards come in
Yeah.
and enter your whole body, the light, the dark. And this is why I like to tell people, if we're Jedis in these programs, there's white Jedis, black Jedis. Black Jedi would be like a Sith. I'm more of a gray Jedi. I operate between the light and the dark because I'm willing to do what the light won't do. But I'm not going to go as to far as to do what the black will do. You know what I'm saying? So again, we're just in the land of muggles. So with you, Sean, what is it like to have been in these to have these experiences and to be in these different secret space program factions? What is it like to live the life of a civilian where you have to pretend you're a regular human being? Because that's the hardest for me, man. It's something I've had to juggle my entire life. It's like you're a superhero, but you can't talk about it because you get the fluoride stare. So it gets to the point where, like, again, you live the life of a master, but you can never truly show people how much of a master you truly are, because once you do, they'll hit you hard.
Um, that's a great question. Yeah, and to be honest, yeah, in the top, and I appreciate that's very kind of you to say. And yeah, I try not to go into the God complex concepts of presenting myself because yeah, again, I want to be more approachable, and also I see it as more everyone I've ever met on this planet that's in the human body is technically kind of like a god, but it's dormant and it doesn't know it, and it's kind of abused to be in pain and suffering and hardship, and it's their whole state of being has been whittled down in a reality that's surrounded by rules that are heavier than their most of the places they come from, but they're like high level authorities, leaders, royalty, gods, whatever sources. Especially if they're awake, then I'm allowed to tell them more into like their power as they go into that. And so from many places throughout the multiverse, and they're bringing because it takes bravery to be here because you're entering somewhat of a reality prison that whittles down all your capability and is like heavyweight training to where if you can do it here, you can do it most everywhere else, and it's a melting pot of the realities, and it's agreeing to all their limitation rules. And so, as the more we know of how this all works, then we can get past it and have capability to affect things at a greater level. But there's a lot of things dampering, psionic dampering everything. Uh, People out there will have dreams of flying, of having super strength, of having telekinesis, of levitating, of teleportation. I've done those things as well. I think everyone can do all these abilities. It's just they don't believe they can, and they're born with amnesia, and they don't remember who they are and what they've done, and even other worlds. I've experienced other realms, both light and dark, and with different reality rules. So I know that you can. When I come back here, it's always like you feel like you're missing another energy arm of yourself. It's a little depressing. It's hard to be here. The emotional weight. There's reasons for being here. There's reasons that outweigh the shit here for being here that you gain dramatically. And if you can make leaps and bounds past the limitation in understanding the biggest things to focus on, to remember to dive into yourself, the things that are like the core the foundation, the thread to pull that unravels all the crap, then it all gets better and easier, and you can bypass a lot of things thrusting, trying to change our destiny, trying to make us dead slaves and energy harvesting batteries. And every attack that comes at you can make you stronger. It's a training course with an opponent. So I do that now, and I even get excited about new opponents. Not afraid of attack anymore. So I'm just like, if I want to be like high vibe in awakening communication with a person, I assess if I care to be friends with this person, if I'm ever going to meet them again. If they're random people that I'm never going to meet again, I mean, that's whittling less and less, then I'll be high vibe and frequency. If I want to be tactful, potentially make an ally and a friend, I'll assess where they are in consciousness, the conversations, what their interests and what their passions, what their joys, bring that out, and then build on it. And then after bridging connection, then I'll see what they're open to, and then see if they're open to my reality, and then they go on a roller coaster upward really quickly. I'm not really afraid of handlers anymore. It's mostly I have become a trap for them. So I wake them up and heal them, restore their soul, wholeness. So anything that is like either a psychic parasite or a handler, as it attaches with control frequencies and mind control stuff and all kinds of like trying to get you to trigger and alter, let that expose. And I can't really remember if I would get triggered into something. Most of the time, anyone abducts me now, it's through temporal dilation, and then I become more aware of that, and I'm trying to take back my sovereignty and allowing that to happen from like Montauk, underground DC, Manhattan, and a few places in the Midwest currently. But most of the projects that have tried to abduct me are assholes, so I send a whole bunch of psionic energy back in time to prevent them from becoming aware of me and figure out how they did. I do mostly have positive military from the future that I allow to take me for certain missions, like the things I do with you, in making the timeline better, getting rid of invaders, finding the core of an invading force, going into the future, fighting wars against insectoids that are invading the solar system or other colonies, preventing really evil shit from occurring that doesn't need to happen. And some to the point where I'm like remote viewing it all and monitoring the timeline to see what's the best outcome, ending wars, making it so that there's less allowability for abuse in the timeline and a bunch of timeline collapse. Currently, my biggest asshole is Montauk, with the big wars essentially going on, the variants of it, the timeline harvesting, the multiple timelines of them warring against each other, them reaching out into the future and the past and trying to dominate the timeline, and trying to constantly make more, steal more timeline authority, and the different aspects of Draco faction dominating them. Some factions of it I'm okay with, especially that are more controlled by people such as yourself. And there's a big vampiric attachment to our species that includes the SSP that are trying to harvest abilities, compartmentalize them in altars, prevent us from using them, program handler altars in ourself around those that prevent us from going into vision quests or hypnosis, or just try to distract us as much as possible to getting to the gold nugget deep in the altar of retaining the ability and then activating it, awakening that altar, remembering, being able to demonstrate the power ability now. And there's a lot of things trying to dominate that, as well as harvest off it, steal the abilities if they can. Sometimes the abilities can't be stolen, otherwise they stop working, so they do some type of detachment to drain it from a distance to fuel something. And there's the different species that are heading that have their own SSP dominating their species, and it kind of like goes up like a puppet master, puppet mastering, puppet master thing. Feel free to. I'd love to hear your perspective on things and any news with that.
It's strongly aligned with what I've been seeing. I just give the harvesters a umbrella title. I lovingly call them the frickin' pirates. These guys, they operate like pirates. It's all about pillaging and stealing and murdering and causing harm. Um, in my humble opinion, based on observation of thousands of clients I've worked with, the name of the game is remembering who you are and regaining your sovereignty over your body, your energy structure, and your soul shard. And so that seems to be the purpose of souls coming in. You get bombarded while you don't remember who and what you are, you don't have access to your gifts, and then you're traumatized severely. And it's all to give you the opportunity to critically self evaluate. Am I strong? Can I heal? Can I rise above the violation and forgive? And can I break through all the bullshit and reconnect to source? Now, if as a soul shard you manage to do this, that's a badge of honor for the soul in its entirety. And you get a little medal of honor that says, I survived Earth during the Dark Ages, nobody will question your merit. And then on the other hand, there's these wonderful bodies. So these machines have not evolved naturally. They're the result of both natural and unnatural evolution. So these bodies, Sean, you mentioned that if you can do it down here, you can do it pretty much anywhere. So this blueprint can be manufactured in different densities and dimensions. So the purpose of these vessels is spreading life in parts of the cosmos where normal life would not thrive. So we would not only, these magnificent human bodies will not only survive, they will continue evolving. And so that's a precious commodity. Many of these frickin' pirates don't want to wait for the launch of the product. They're doing industrial espionage, taking parts of our energetic structure, the hormones that the body produces, but also theft of different, let's say, vibrations or domains of energy, like the Kundalini, like heart energy, and so on. So this whole cosmic drug trade, as you mentioned, puppet masters above, it's a big cartel. These pirates are a cartel. So it's upon us to awaken, to regain sovereignty, to remember how freaking awesome we are. And so every now and again, you come across people who pull off some extraordinary tactic or mission. Sean, you just blew my mind with that whole void prison thing, that DDS attack on the Matrix. Poof! I've never seen that one before. That's impressive. So moving forward, what would be the go-to approach in your understanding for somebody who has just awakened to continue evolving and avoid the most common pitfalls, false teachers, spiritual attacks, and so on?
Pitfalls. Oh God. Well, most pitfalls I would say is limitation on belief and boxing in like a cult mentality that like, oh, don't look at that. Only look at our information. It's uh I go into everything. I research all religions. I pull the gold nuggets of all of them. The cure for mind control and limitation is more data. And it more observation from different angles exposes certain behavior as my moral code is do no harm, take no shit, and the expansion of all life, all the masculine, feminine, and the inner child tenets of this amplify the soul evolution. uh, Soul, the consciousness grows and it keeps growing resilience to certain things and control, and then it starts exposing parasitic behavior, cult mentalities, limitation. Beliefs are like a tree in a person. of light. There are certain densities to it. There's truth in a lot of things, but the density and the strong, full truth is strong, resilient, unbreakable, hard, pointy, and it doesn't care if you like it. It doesn't necessarily feel good. It feels pretty negative to like have our previous belief systems crumble. So also like I spent a lot of time in the awakening unlearning things I believed by like challenging them. So a lot of presuppositions when we analyze our previously held beliefs that are just given to us, they don't really stand up well. There's going to be gold nuggets, so you're kind of like digging through that. What's the thing that I hold on to that's valuable, and then get rid of the crap. And then like it all comes to unity, as truth is more in the perspective of if we're connecting through a heart to our divine source that observe goes back to like like the Big Bang, but like beyond the sort of prime of the galaxy's universe, going up to the source wall, and its perspective as it branches off to all perspectives of awareness, objective connecting to subjective in reality that can be changed in observation, but a lot of the times it's just misinterpretation of how we can sync up when we all come together and communicate. Though I have seen crazy shit where I have had a completely different perception of reality, and we're like freaking out about it because we're amicable, kind and compassionate towards each other, that we don't like just like, oh, you must be wrong, jerk, that we're able to determine that it was something crazy. And there's like the quantum, observation effect, and different people perceive different things, and most people barely perceive more than 0.0, a lot of zeros, 5% of all existence. And there's a bandwidth kind of locked in the perception of the ego of that's filtering reality, and kind of will lie, cheat, steal, kill to protect its own boundaries of the state of reality cage that we're locked in, which is kind of the survival mechanism for all the crap that happened in our reality, destruction events, timeline, spatial rips and destruction, and past civilizations, and us holding our things in line, holding things together, and all the beings sacrificing themselves to keep things together as we the reality's quarantine, what the veils are, and as we in our what we inherited, take care of our inheritance, our shadow, the things we're holding onto in darkness, and resolve them. Then we these veils release, and we're able to perceive more, interact with more reality, and the things come online as the greater inheritance of what we have. Um, uh, can you restate your question? I don't think I've answered it
Well,
fully.
I think you touched upon so many beautiful mm, nuggets of wisdom, as you call them, the gold nuggets, evaluating belief systems. If they don't stand the test of
Okay,
scrutiny
gotcha.
and so on, then that's a good way to avoid many pitfalls. So that's really beautifully said.
Yeah, the
And
truth and is inside you. You're remembering it. Amplify your heart field to know more. Analyze logic. The laws of logic is really good. Balancing the masculine and the feminine. They both have great awareness. The left brain can really be caged in to lack of what is real in just basics of materialism and limited science, dinosaur science, of what the consensus allows, and it's like a cage. Now, the right brain, its downfalls are expansionary but delusional, where it will believe things that don't have grounding, as well as it's not willing to test them because it's uncomfortable and it's painful sometimes. And it doesn't really always understand the need of why that we should do that, in that they think that I can just believe something to be true and it be true, such as a lot of Satanist permeated infiltration of the spiritual movements that go to solipsism, and I just believe in yourself and whatever you want, and your mind is the center, and no one else matters. And you can just believe this is real and it will work out. And my thing is balance both, and you get results and see what's shareable and crosses over through all the realities. Because if it stops and it just stays with you, that's a problem, and that means it's weak. And also belief systems on the tree and the branching. Uh, Truth is empowering. It's bright. It strengthens you. It gives you happiness after the initial destruction thing, and it makes your life better. The false beliefs, the delusions, the lies are parasitic, and they stop you and they limit you. And a lot of religions have that. A lot of beliefs that have been handed to us. So once we get the sense of feeling into those beliefs, and I'd recommend start with the beliefs that are the most parasitic, and it's interesting when you go through those, and then whittle it down. It's very, it's the common themes are limitation.
Oh, that's beautifully said. You just described the whole philosophy of the Buddhists in one or two
Ooh,
short,
yeah,
short
yeah,
paragraphs. Yes, the truth, Sanskrit word for it is Vajra, truth that is as solid as a diamond that strikes like lightning. And when you get hit by lightning, it's not very pleasant, but it's good for you. So yeah, I mean, oh my God, this is confirmation upon confirmation. This is amazing.
So
So
truth is really important in what we're talking about. And Sean, you said unlearning things I believed. It wasn't until you and Amir kind of confirmed who my handlers were. And at that point, it changed who I was, because at that point, their effects stopped working on me. Whenever one of the handlers that I worked for, whenever he would come at me and he would start unloading on me, unleashing that fury, it got to a point when I realized it was all a play and none of it was real. And when he would turn that corner and berate me and yell at me and threaten me, I would sit there in complete peace. I would look him right in the eyes while he's just like laser beaming, attacking me. And the moment he walked away, I'm like, all right, I'm getting back to life. So I started getting to a point where the handling stopped working on me, because now I'm aware that, number one, if you're in the programs, you have handlers in your life. This is a theme that's coming up in a lot of our readings. A lot of people that can't get answers directly from me with the QHHT session, I recommend you guys, both of you, every time. And
you as well.
once you identify who your handlers are, it can change your life. And if you're an asset, that should be one of the number one things you want to identify. Contact both of these guys and start identifying who your handlers are and see how they handle you. Because since I'm aware of the handlers since I was so young, this is a side effect with me. It's really hard to get close to me, period. I don't care how good of a friend you are. Even the closest friends to me listen to this right now. They know that the access to me is very limited, because a lot of my close personal friends, they're also assets. And at any time, they can activate any asset around you that you love, that you care for, someone that you would die for. And what it's taught me is the more that I'm alone, the more that I close myself off, the more I don't make myself available to anyone. It protects me in ways that it doesn't allow me to have them abuse me. It sucks to live that life, to live a life and just complete solitude, being a hermit, just taking life on by yourself. But it gets to a point where you have to identify that a lot of people around you, they were put in your life for a reason. And it takes QHHT sessions, remote viewing, Akashic record reading to show this family member is my handler. This family member is also in the programs. Holy crap, my children are also in the programs. I thought it was just limited to me. So like these are important things you guys are talking about right now. And also, Sean, you mentioned Washington, D.C., and it was an automatic trigger for me because you helped locate one of my main clones. And it's right there, it's right on the Potomac River in a dome right near the Capitol building. And once you start figuring out where the parts of you are, kind of like where these shards exist, it helps you connect with them more. It helps you identify if this person's my handler, okay, any interaction with them is dangerous. If I have clones here, I need to start doing the internal work to start speaking with these other versions of myself, or to identify what's blocking me from connecting to these memories and experiences. And that's why you two guys are so important, because you can help people, like, you can identify those blocks instantaneously, you know? So that's one of the most important things, is like, anyone listening to this right now, you have got to get readings from these guys. They are mind-blowing. Like, Sean's interviewed me out how many freaking times, man. And like, every time he interviews me, or he does a remote viewing or a spirit quest we do, he helps me like break through all the limitations that I had previously, help you identify and see who you truly are behind the scenes. And you got to take that information, and it's up for you. It is your sole obligation to not just take that information and just put it on a shelf. You have to put foot to ass. That means take that information and start doing something about it,
Yeah.
right? If you're not going to leave your situation in your handler life, if you're going to be like, well, I'm working for this person, or like, this is my baby's daddy, I'm like, you're the problem. You choose to stay in something that's bad for you because you feel yourself attached with a child. And that's one of the biggest things that I come across with women. They're in a situation where their handler is the husband, or vice versa, and they literally can't leave it. But if I have a point for this, my point is, once you identify who your handlers are, or if you're not in the programs, if you identify who's abusing you, if someone's abusing you mentally or physically, just walk away. You are the problem, because it's your choice that keeps you locked into this Groundhog Day, this cycle that you can't escape. And like, Sean can help you identify that. He's like, this is your limitation. This is why this ability is blocked. It is being blocked because you did something to your light body that allowed these beings to come in and siphon this energy, because you're not protecting yourself. Grounding, stepping into that sovereignty, like he was talking about. Sean, you don't like to talk about the God complex. We are all God, pretending we're not God,
Yeah.
pretending we're just like these feeble beings that break easily, not realizing that everything around us
Yeah.
is God. So if you're having something dominate you, realize it's just a program you're stuck in. You have a problem with authority. If you allow them to dominate you, you're going to lose. Walk away. Whatever you're doing in your life, walk away. If you feel stuck with a family, it doesn't matter. It doesn't mean you have to interact with that person. You can get a damn divorce, You know, it just blows me away how many people contact all three of us, and it's the same story every time with every single client. They're going through the same theme of limitations. And that's all we're trying to say. Identify your limitations and freaking break them, and walk away and never look back.
What you just said, that's one of the Hermetic laws. So there are 9 of them. If you look at something like the Hermetica, only 7 are mentioned. So the most important ones are censored. And so this is one of the ones that has come back. They exist in the Akashic records. And so that's the principle of choice. The only way to defeat evil is to deny it the battle. This does not indicate passivity, rather non-entanglement through alchemical transmutation or elemental disintegration. It's a transmutation of belief systems or programs that make you susceptible. So disentanglement or denying the battle would be something like a divorce or a geographic separation. That will give you time to start the healing process, because usually these types of abusive relationships, they're injecting poison into you. They're stealing your energy, and for your trouble, they're injecting you with their poison or their heaviness. So while this stream of poisoning continues, you're at a weakened position, and your chances of succeeding in breaking free are reduced. So first things first, reduce the stream of poison by any means necessary so that the healing may begin. And then through a place of health, strength, maturity, and wisdom, you can observe the dynamics that you were susceptible to before. And then you can start remedying that. So the same tactics will not apply to you any longer. So in the case of either of us, where let's say, quote unquote, handler beings are present, whether through family or through people that we work with, people around us, the same tactics or the same, let's say, multidimensional technology in any form that it may take will not work on us. And so we become immune. So that is one of the things that everybody has a sacred duty to pursue. Many people spend a fortune changing a set of tires on their car, but when it comes to the health of their body and the health of their eternal soul, suddenly they think, oh, it's not worth it. No, no, no. My dear brothers and sisters, you're the thing that is worth everything. You're an aspect of the divine, and it is your sacred duty to protect your own well being and sovereignty. So, well, thank you, gentlemen, for this is becoming mind blowing. So, shall we move to some more mind blowing stuff? Sean, you talked about manifesting things that mm, just are crazy making. They are fantastical. And examples of these are the unearthing of artifacts from the beloved land that is now known as Mexico. So, how did this whole journey begin?
Yeah. Wonderful. Thank you for what you're saying. And yeah, a lot of people need to strategize, see the good and the bad, what's worth it, not worth it in staying. You have family, building support, and learning what to do. Detachment, amplification from the seven main chakras, the soul and the ego, makes it easier to pulse, prevent things from incurring on you, dumped on you, stealing from you, making it the soul more and more resilient, master of the poison that's dumped on a person. The very thing that's coming at you, you can become immune to and build a defense to make it stronger until you're ready to leave. Sometimes it's if they're unwilling to change, then that is the goal, is to leave. You got to be able to determine that if they're unwilling to heal. Now, a lot of the people that end up in those situations, relationships, a lot of time it's a resolution of the Lyran and Draco invading Lyra scenario of like some of the peak light and dark in this galaxy, and then like it's this weird dark crystal kind of thing where this like the Skeksis and the Sage are like one being split apart, and so like the light beings of the Lyra are took in their origins, took their soul higher dimensionals, took parts of themselves that were really dark and compressed them to what the Draco is, and their light form being able to rise higher, become into the higher dimensions and capability and divinity. And then merging effect of being magnetically pulled to attract them in and being inevitable uh with that invasion, and then us being one of the solution as the combination of them both together in a body, and resolving that whole situation. A lot of the people that find themselves in empath and narcissist relationship kind of combination, that's usually what's happening. And the thing is to they're really dark and they need more light, and they need to balance their light. Now, as whatever those that are listening, you're in the light, you need more dark, not in that it overcoming you or anything, but coming up against it, making you more resilient, becoming immune to it, mastering it, making it so it's no longer harmful. And there's a level of that needs to be brought to where if you feel yourself keep attracting narcissists, that's what needs to be done. So that, and then love overwhelm, love conquers all, and being able to make that strong enough to overcome darkness gets you to a high enough level that makes your life way better. So there's that. So artifacts. Yeah, beautiful. I heard the first time I heard about it, a leaked video of Nassim Harriman, where he said, "Don't show this to anyone," and they still did. And I since did interaction with him and digs and stuff. He's a very powerful person. I found out he stopped bringing out that much because there's a farmer that brought in the artifacts in the beginning, and after that video leaked, he was killed, the farmer. So people were killed over this a while ago, like in 2012-ish. And now there are tens of thousands of artifacts coming on the ground, so no one, it doesn't really do anything to kill people. Though I still hear people are dying over finding ET bodies, so there's a thing with that. Um, we're fine. Oh, I met some friends at some conferences and events and met some elders that hold land that are finding these, and they direct me to more people. So we're finding multiple people that found these all around. Farmers are digging these up out of the soil while they plow the field. So they mostly think they're the devil. So because they're Catholic majority, and so they throw them out. Some end up getting sold. A lot of being put in the hands of private collectors, and we're trying to make a museum out of it. There was a museum before for it. They got raided by people in black suits, stolen it, and so we're trying to go past that. And our elder has turned them into the museum, and they just put them in the basement. So there's a big cover up. They don't want people to know about this, and archaeologists are told, and I've met some, not to talk about it if they find them, or they'll lose their license. So, and we're finding more than Mexico, a bunch in South America, and even in Arizona, they're finding them in Tucson, the Grand Canyon. If you've ever remembered that story where they found Egyptian statues and hieroglyphs and gods of Egypt in the Grand Canyon, and the military closed that off. That's this because there are Egyptian gods being found, many types, and Sumerian and cuneiform and hieroglyphs and languages that are not found anywhere else. Pre-Sanskrit. Um, yeah. So there's just so many. It's a tidal wave. No one can really stop it. There's a lot of people. It's an automatic mental matrix skepticism that's permeated the field not to believe in this. Oh, it's got to be fake. Totally understandable. Be skeptical about everything. But the people that just are skeptical and they don't think it's real just haven't really done the research. I have had way more evidence come to my mind from the digs, so it's hard to believe unless you do the digs. So much evidence, the patina, the erosion, the moss, the grass that grows and how big it is in the places we dig on virgin ground, the giant stones you gotta lift. Some you can't move, you gotta dig around, and then they roll down the hill, digging under cactuses, the root systems are big. The soil composition is interesting. Some are like entombed in this, it's kind of like a cement that glows in UV light, in like an oval around the different points. There are structures beneath the hills and stuff that are found with them that lead to tunnel systems that seem to keep going, and there might be some deeper discoveries there. We're going into it, but a lot of them are around civilizations on top of civilizations. We're found artifacts with Mayan, Aztec, Toltec, Olmec, Meztec, and 20 plus, and not even including the alien civilization. So it's getting really crazy. More and more people are talking about it. We're doing a documentary. I might be able to show. Actually, I'm gonna bring that because you're gonna love it. I'm gonna bring up the documentary trailer. It's like 6 minutes too, and I'll show you some dig footage because people are already gonna, of course, be very skeptical of this stuff, and it's hard to believe. And I'll show you some artifacts. I'm gonna show you some that you're exclusive to first seeing because um, nobody else has seen it. Let me see if I can bring that up.
This is a
Okay,
privilege.
thank you. Okay, so I'll start one video while I set up the other things. Okay, let's try sharing. Okay, do you see this?
It's loading. There we go. Yes.
Okay. This is one of our big long skulls, which I'm about to show you that I have with me here. Let me dig in. They tell us to be more professional when we start finding artifacts. We don't take it out. We dig around it peeking out of the soil so we can document all the things at the same level.
Oh my God, is that a skull?
Yep, and I'll show it.
Wow.
So it's basically a huge crystal skull.
Yep. And we found sometimes 8 crystal skulls at one dig. There's all different types of species, multiple materials. The 13 would be probably clear quartz, humanoid, and there's multiple species.
Is that kind
So
of,
going
does
beyond.
that have like a circuit board looking thing
Yep.
on the top of its head? Just kind of like the Buga
Yes.
Sphere?
Yes, an orichalcum metal chip, and I will show you that on screen because I have it here with me.
Wow.
But yeah, they're deeming it called the Master Skulls, and we've been on digs that found 3, which are most of them. And yeah, it's you're gonna be finding more and more. We're gonna do a documentary soon, video recording soon for it. Let's see here.
How much does that thing weigh?
It's so fucking heavy. It's like
Yeah.
80 pounds.
Wow.
80
Um,
pounds? Good God.
yeah, and I got one that's even bigger, but I'm gonna try to lift it for you. And then it's here.
And so the smaller skull, is that from a human or is it also an artifact?
It's an artifact. It's like a bluish kind of crystal, but yeah, we found a lot of human esque ones as well.
So these were
Found a
perhaps
few
be
quartz, but
representing
mostly like different.
hybrids, hybrids between Homo sapiens and non-humans, perhaps. So this is closer to a typical human. And that's
Oh yeah.
Yisha there. Hello, Yisha.
Here, I'll show another one. Yeah, let's see here. Go.
So, Sean, you've been bringing these out of the earth yourself. So from your point of view, there's no question in that these are authentic artifacts.
I'm open to every theory. I'm not like a person that's like defined on any belief. Currently, my amount of belief that this is more real than fake is at a higher list of evidence than the fake and
Right,
debunking.
right.
If I were to go based on the evidence that I've accumulated from digging that it was faked, then it would have had to have been buried a number of years ago, and sometimes maybe even to like 50 plus years.
Hmm.
And they it doesn't really like I know some of the artifacts are fake. I've seen them. They're more it's once you know what is a fake entailment, you can look out for it. It's more obvious. There's certain types of superficial etchings. Especially when you go into a microscope, the etchings are more obvious with that. The erosion, the patina, with real artifacts, there's like type of mineral
Build up or something.
incursion into it that like magnesium will be white and there'll be like discolorations and you can test for that. So there's all kinds of testing, and also we did carbon dating on some of the artifacts adhesive. Some are 1,000, depending on how far down you dig, 1,000, 10,000, 18,000, 19,000 years old. These are from Tula. We also do digs in Awelos. The Awelos artifacts, some of them are carbon dated as even like old as 30 years.
Right.
30,000 years. And they've done carbon dating on the ones that are fake, and they're like a few years, 5 years, less than 50. So I would go into if it was being faked, there's like some big secret society thing like the Ryle kind of like believing in aliens kind of and Project Bluebeam thing, though, because honestly, from what I've seen, it's retarded business model. It doesn't make you almost any money for the amount of work that you'd be doing
Right.
unless like digging like burying them and digging them up later. And like at times when you wouldn't even see the fruit of your labor. Now the ones that make money off them with the cartel aren't burying them. They're just selling them.
Right.
So and it with the molding, like some of these are made of geopolymers, which is, like cement. It's a melted thing. And it would be kind of dumb, but also I make an interesting inquiry into what they're trying to achieve if it was
Right.
fake, because if you want to make money, you make mass productions and use the
Right.
same mold,
Yeah.
and then you make more than one of the same. Most of these artifacts, they do not have this, they don't have multiple of the same. They're like one of a kind things.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so it's just like more intensive work. I've interviewed people that carve crystals and stuff, and they're like a little freaked out about it because they know how much work it's put into it.
Oh, yes.
Like even if they were fake, they'd be expensive.
Right.
And the people that are digging these up in Mexico, they're poor, and I've been to their families, the real ones. Some are, asshole faking. Um, and they're poor, they're not making much money, and it's one of their passions. They're called to do it. Though there's, even when selling them to the US, they still are fairly cheap. So if that amount of money to how much effort it is, it's retarded. So
Yeah.
it's not a very good business model. So,
Hmm.
like, here's another one of the master skulls. There's interesting depictions like avian species with long skulls, with Anubis type beings, dog people, cephalopods pointing to a higher dimensional being. Every time I tune in this guy, it's like a 13th dimensional being with an eye, the eye on its head. People associated with like the all-seeing eye and Tiamat, but I don't really tune into that. It's like multiple members. It's a species, and then pointing at a reptoid. Here, I don't know why the camera's not that well.
Wow. Oh,
Yeah.
my goodness.
I wonder if
So
that
there's,
symbolizes the Draconians.
Yep.
it could be. It could be a draconic, could be a raptor, it could be
Because the fact that it has a trident in its hand and Egyptian symbolism in its hand and Saturn, that suggests a connection to the Anunnaki as well, because Enki used that exact trident.
that's a good point. I like that. Yeah, it's we've found multiple types of reptoid species, so I'm starting to define this. This could be Draco, it could be Naga, it could be raptor. It's like the feathers on the top of the head, or the frill, whatever is interesting. Yeah, it's got a trident, it's got an obelisk behind it, a staff, and there's another one right here that's a little bit
Hmm. Hmm.
more pronounced in its snout. There's multiple ring planets near it, so either it's a different solar system or there, something else going on. Um, yeah, and then the Buga chip design on the
Yep.
top.
Yep.
This crystal skull is very omniscient. It's solar system size. It had knew a lot about me. It was very good at telepathy. It might message you guys if you reach out to it.
Oh, yes.
It's told me a lot of things I didn't know about myself. It's great with truth.
So that's
Yeah,
that's the key point. In fact, that's the most important point of these artifacts is what they do. And so you
right.
mentioned that it had a lot of information about you and it's possible to connect. So please, let's talk more about this after you've presented the videos, because I think that is super important.
Sure, sure.
Okay,
And all
right
these
here.
guys have
Th-
staffs to the center. Go ahead.
yeah, yeah. I don't know why, but I just keep seeing a portal system right there, like using handheld stuff technologies to open up a portal, and that's the symbolism. It's not just, I don't think it's just planets. I think those are portals to these
Ooh.
planets.
Ooh, I love that theory. That's beautiful. Yeah, it kind of it like all these guys have like staffs. There's this crescent moon type of thing in the middle. There's these arcs of what I assume is plasma over a pyramid. But there's a second one that then connects this planet. So that's a great theory
Yeah,
that
because
they're
it's a
opening a
bridge.
gate that connects to another
Yeah,
gate and it connects to
that's what it
that
looks for.
place.
Yeah,
I
so that
love
looks
that
like a
theory.
gate between those two circles because it looks like a ring connecting two spherical planets, like automatically.
That's probably gonna be
Oh
now
yeah,
one of
you know
my
what?
top
That's what it
theories.
is.
Thanks.
That's what it is, Sean. You can see there's a pathway at the very bottom, and the pathway goes into the opening of the portal system. So
I love that theory.
this is
Yeah.
their way in. They're maybe telling you exactly where they're from, and they're showing you the longitude and latitude of the location of where they're going with the arrangement of those exact planets.
Yep,
Yeah, beautiful. I
relative
love that one.
distance. The pattern can be observed probably from Earth, so it's fairly accurate map. And so, if you're doing any sort of out of body projection, you've got a good enough reference point to begin tuning into the general vicinity, and then from there, the energy of the people or the beings that are on the other side will guide you the rest of the way. So, this is a pretty good initiation point for, let's say, astral traveling or communication with these beings. That's beautiful.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Yeah, all these artifacts you can do astral travel, you can go through mystery school. They have many spirits attached to them that will talk to you. You can take DMT or other drugs, you'll meet them. They'll like be present with you. You'll feel them. They'll upgrade your brain and many other messages. Yeah, it looks like a pyramid. I love that theory. It's going to be probably one of my top theories now. This I was just thinking of like an arc of plasma. And I was like, what? So like could be a portal, exactly, a portal, and
But see,
since
it's
they're all
dimensional.
connected,
It's
yeah,
dimensional. I mean, like it shows you, it's showing you a direction as if a walkway, like you're sitting on a sidewalk, and it's going into perspective to a point. So that's showing
right.
they're literally walking into a portal that's opening, and then I wish I could show it on my screen, but you see that bridge directly above it, connecting and literally touching the literal planet. It's quite literally touching it,
Yeah.
which
Yeah,
is
that's great symbology with it.
if that's Saturn, that exact planet could be Jupiter. I can't see what's
Yep,
That,
around it, but
yeah.
yep. You can even see the
size wise.
pattern, the color of the planet. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
so one of the
beautiful.
things they use me a lot for in the programs is archaeological digs. We'll be sent to these certain locations on or off planet, and it's my responsibility to take these objects and bring them back to the corporation. And sometimes
Nice.
I've talked about this in some of my presentations where some of these objects they talk to you.
Mm.
And I had an ancient AI system
Yeah.
I found in Egypt. I was sent there for a retrieval, and I it's part of my public story. I never returned it, and that's what actually got me in a lot of trouble in the programs because
Um,
it told me how I was being used in the programs. It started showing me memories and stuff, and it showed me that it was a soul caught in a literal technology.
Yeah.
So like a lot of these technologies that you have, these are quite literally technologies. They're portals to other realms. They can open up your mind. They can show you your Akashic record. Like they're not just carvings. And like a lot of these fakes that I see, they're almost made with like laser precision,
Right.
as if they
Yeah.
were CNC milled. And that's when you know, a lot of that stuff, unless it's like etched on a pyramid or on a cartouche or something like that and has laser precision, that's different. You know what I'm saying? But you don't find a lot. Like you see a lot of the imperfections and the inclusions and how it was literally carved out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. And it gets weird because different parts of Mexico or South America will have different methods and different stone. So different civilizations, and as you go deeper down, it's more advanced looking, and it's
Yeah.
like what the fuck? You can reproduce this. Some of it's like fine, like a giant's fingerprint on some of the Oelos
Uh-huh.
artifacts. So fine between the fingerprint points
Hmm.
that you can't do it. Maybe with a laser, but like there, it's like no, not poor people in Mexico. Anyway. So yeah, I love that theory. And yeah, each one of these planets links to another planet.
You see
There's
that?
deeper spiritual connection. Ooh, yeah.
Okay, this was the symbol in the movie Stargate. This was the one that they found that was the key to them going through the Stargate at Cheyenne Mountain in that
Yep.
movie. And they realized that it was the sun above the pyramid. In that skull, you have the sun touching that pyramid part. So this lets you know this is a portal system. And they even
Right.
showed it. That was how we discovered it at Cheyenne Mountain when part of Project Stargate. So they're showing you
Nice.
what is defined as you see that crescent moon right there? That is at the very top of that pyramid shape of what those 2 points are. So just the symbolism alone, they're showing you it's a portal.
Oh, and I'm glad you brought up
That it's a
Stargate
gate.
because I'm gonna show you some evidence for Stargates in a second. Let me just see if I can find all my other stuff. But like, yeah, let me play this video. Yeah, and all these, and there's a bigger Saturn right next to it, so that's why I'm like a little confused at some of the things because this is our solar system. It might not be
Some of
our
our
solar system.
planets, believe it or not, it's not publicly talked about, but some of the planets in our solar system produce rings around them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We found this with
Uranus,
Cassini.
Jupiter
Exactly.
has
So that can
three.
literally
Yeah,
be showing this is our local, and this is the gate to our local system. Maybe that could
yeah.
be an opening. Maybe that's a gate to Orion right there. You know what I'm saying? Because
It
the
could be.
Orion symbolism is huge on this planet.
Oh yeah, it could be. This so all things to discover. I have no idea. But I can tune into, well, I do. I can tune into each, as you learn psychometry, you can, each one of these planets has a link of a signature frequency to it. You can track it back. I've tracked it back a few, but each of this has a lot of work to do. So, and this Anubis guy has like the scales. So that's interesting. But each of them have like a story, and you can talk to them, and it's like
Yep.
a little spirit soul shard part of them.
So, what do you
It
think
goes,
that little integrated circuit is at the top that you just scrolled by? Can you do a close up of that so people can see how
sure.
important that is? And being that it's almost replicated on the Buga Sphere, so like that is a phenomenon right there that's being reproduced throughout these digs. We're seeing the same type of. It's almost like it's an energetic anchor that connects all these. It's almost like that's the Wi-Fi connection to a device. It's connecting to other devices.
Oh, absolutely. You're on point with that. So these like some metal, crystalline, some different structure type of chips that they're calling the chip, and I'm on my girlfriend's on the Buga research team, so we've interacted with the Buga Sphere. They recently found a second Buga Sphere, just so you know, so you can look that up. It looks a little different, but it's interesting, so we're gonna be going in an interaction with that. We found this chip design on many artifacts.
Mhm.
Spheres, cubes, crystal skulls, UFOs. I'll show you a few here. Here I'll show you one now that I have while this other video is playing. Here's this one in that's in one of my ships that we got that I'd recommend getting if you ever get an artifact, get a ship because you can talk to it and it's sometimes got a crazy crystalline AI in it.
Wow.
So that's the other thing with these chips that are being found, and so you guys know this is UV light being shined on it. It glows. There's a mermaid, some kind of Cyrus-looking guy, onks, Merkabas, long skulls. On the backside, there's reptoids.
Whoa.
We're finding a lot of those. Um, okay, so let's see here. So here's some of the so we found like ones that actually venerate Bugosphere kind of concepts of these drone devices that levitate and spin and have like a electro static levitational effect and momentum levitation effect that it's like spiders with the webs that go up. There's actually not just babies, but adult spiders go to the tops of trees. there's a lot of negative ions and positive ions, and there's like a electrostatic effect they have to where a few threads come out of them, and they expand and they create lift, and they create lift without wind, and they've done it in chambers, so it's beyond just wind. But there's all kinds of species like these long skulls, avians, cephalopods and other stuff that are have pictures and association next to the Buga Sphere. This language is Proto Sanskrit, and it's there's different ones that have been translated. I also have those up. And here's our ship one, which has interesting layers of quartz, as you can see with this shining one here, and different types of black substances underneath that I don't know what they are, but it appears there's an AI in this. There's a little cephalopod guy in here. And I was able to reboot the AI, the crystalline AI in it, and then it boomed in my head with high levels of telepathy, like something blowing in my eardrum. And I wanted to figure out if who am I? How did you learn how to do it? Here's a species that might be either the Draco or crocodile, like Nile crocodile people, like Sobek, avian people, kind of stuff. And the double-eyed rod, of course, which
The
only seen
top
in these
left-hand
artifacts.
side, praying mantis hybrid. It seems these artifacts are showing all the major players on Earth. It's like an
Oh yeah.
encyclopedia.
Oh, yeah, like 60 plus species we found. Keep finding more. Um, some of my videos being deleted. That sucks. Let me see if I
Sean,
can find
before
that other
before
one.
you show another video, could you possibly show that skull and that circuit one more time? I just saw a repeating
Sure.
pattern and it's blowing me away. You might already obviously know this, but like everything about that circuit and the orientation of the five moon shapes and the pyramids with the circle. I'm looking at the literal Buga Sphere right now, so I'll show you what I mean.
Sure thing.
So it's almost like it's all coming from the same civilization too.
Yeah, they definitely interact with each other quite a bit. They'll
Mhm.
talk. All be depicted on one artifact.
You can
So
pause it right there where it was a
okay,
close up.
like there. Okay.
Okay, can everyone see that? This is the
Yep.
exact shape on the Buga Sphere, and that's the exact shape there on the forehead. Everything is exactly the same. And the UFO saucer that Sean just showed, it's the exact same linear carving and the same shape of the integrated circuit. So it's like all these are connected technologies. Like they all have to connect to each other, period.
Yeah,
So the
absolutely.
only the only common thing uh, amongst these artifacts being here on Earth would be humanity. And so it seems that is some sort of a sigil or energetic mechanism
Almost like
that will
a
help.
quantum tether
Yep,
almost.
yep. Branches, quantum branches, or branches into, let's say, the ocean of reality that helps humans tune in. These were meant to be used by human beings.
Yeah,
Wow.
when I
I'm
asked
curious.
it as well as the Buga Sphere, like what is it? It says it's a little beyond our current technological comprehension. Those are just anchors of what we've done. It's like we're gonna form more technology, and then it's essentially both a chip that has huge amount of programming data as well as it's an antenna. It emits things. It receives. It's receiving. It's replicating the human body in that, like we're an antenna receiving a greater consciousness from the field that is us, and it's doing that for physical objects. And in the Bugosphere, the chip is emitting frequency, it's receiving commands, it has an AI intelligence, all kinds of stuff. But it seems to do even beyond that. And all the chips are a little different, so they're receiving kind of different types of consciousness. Um, Here, and I'll go into a few more digs, and then I'll show you the Stargate stuff.
Wow.
Let's see here, because I know you've had projects with the Stargates. Can you see this dig?
Oh yes, there we
Yes.
go.
Okay, so we found multiple tablets. Some have Sumerian. This one, I believe, has Sumerian cuneiform and some Sumerian gods, which I'll also show images of that.
Yay, it's Anunnaki stuff.
Oh yeah, the Anunnakis confirmed in Mexico have been in Mexico likely. So there's a little digging for that, but let me bring up some more digs and then show you that Anunnaki one. Let's see here. Uh, Sorry, I gotta like the adjustments to this.
I guess when you're finding
All
that, a
right.
cool thing would be to talk about would be how everybody knows that some people know that Thoth was sent to South America because he lost his war. He lost a war with his brother Marduk, and by decree he was sent to South America. By the time he arrived, he was known as Quetzalcoatl and Cococan. But before that ever happened, before the Maya arrived, before the Aztecs, before the Incans, they had already spread what they called Atlantis throughout the entire planet, and a lot of it was located on the 33rd parallel. Like, I just found out that I was born on the 33rd parallel of all places on the world. What are the odds I was also born on the one of the most active places on the planets? And we found in the SSP, we find a lot of these locations, a lot of these pyramids, a lot of these ancient structures, they're located on the 33rd parallel on these planets, and it has multiple cataclysms change the way it tilts, and the 33rd parallel will change. So you notice if you go back in time where the 33rd parallel was, you can predict where these ancient digs are. It's pretty amazing.
Oh, that's a good point. Thanks for bringing that up. I like that. Yeah, and a lot of pyramids sync up with Egypt and Mexico. So it seems like multi-layered civilization that has bigger layers. This is Trevor Grassi. We're doing filming with him.
There's no volume coming out.
It could be a limitation of Zoom.
What it, what's happening right now? What is he finding? Is this like an entrance to something that was once completely covered and it's never been entered before? Because I noticed Trevor's going into a lot of
Yes.
places that's never been unearthed before, especially in the Giza Plateau.
Yeah, I mean, so like it would have been made at some point in the past. We don't know when, but like based on the, you know, carbon dating, we'd say really old. But yeah, it was not uncovered before. It was layered up, like bricked up, some with solid, it's like a cement, that type of thing between the stones. And yeah, it's like a little we haven't done it fully, so that's part of what the documentary is about. And the things we're finding there is crazy. There are anomalies. Insects are freaking out in it. With here's one of the spheres at the beginning of the entrance,
Mm-hmm.
and it has DNA on it. It has all these species. Let me
Do you
get
ever think
the
about what
footage.
it does to your physical body being around these frequencies? Because if insects and plant life react to it, that tells me when I'm on a dig that it's producing energy and
Yeah.
frequencies that will interact with your body. So some of these
Oh
can
yeah.
cause health problems, some of these can cause upgrades, like you talk about a lot. So what is a lot of the upgrades that you've had that makes your experiences special with what was given to you and imparted to you with the knowledge of these devices and artifacts?
Oh yeah, you'll get you're right on point. You'll get upgrades like crazy. They turn on the genetics of the type of species you're interacting with. Comes online. They're easier to talk to, more telepathy, psychic tracking. Each of these species have different psionic abilities. As I clear them of the conquistador Vatican bullshit, they'll expand with how much emission in these generators. The souls will come online. They'll work with you. They'll get rid of negative problems. I have gotten sick when I went into this point cavern. There's an interesting smell. There's a little bit of we're gonna bring equipment to see what kind of radiation and stuff. I will maybe I have some. I'll show it in the documentary. But ants are like on their back. Tens of thousands of ants are on the piles of the artifacts, and they're freaking out with their back up and their legs up in the air. They can exit and enter whenever they want. They choose to be there. They're okay with dying or whatever, and they're like tripping out like on drugs or something. Yeah, this is that. Here's me with the Anunnaki. It's like a Sumerian astrolabe. It's similar to the one that was found, though that one is smaller. It looks pretty much the same. I put them up to each other in comparison. It's around the same dates. So it's venerated. They think that one was venerating an event back in time and also some destinations in the stars. I would say the same thing with this one. Here's the other side of it with the Anunnaki type beings,
Yep.
handbags and the eagle,
Yep.
bird
Yep.
people, UFOs. Here's it cleared so you see it. And it is pretty much the same thing as this smaller astrolabe, almost literally the same thing. It's just the other astrolabe looks like this, which is in a handheld. It's really small.
Mm-hmm.
And ours glows in UV light.
These are
Is it showing
functional
you the
devices.
locations of a star system? Is that what it is?
Probably.
'Cause that's what it
Yeah,
reminds
and
me
as well
of.
as marking an event in time. And yeah, it has these beings and
Yeah,
like
those are called
looking.
the Apkallu.
Oh,
The
yeah.
Anunnaki, is that correct?
Yeah, those the bird beak ones, they refer to them specifically as the Apkallu.
Apkallu. So are they a subspecies of the Anunnaki or related to them?
They were being used by the Anunnaki. They were some of the original ones that got here with the Anunnaki that was part of the slavery that ended up
Gotcha.
helping rebel and the
Gotcha.
Agigi and all that stuff.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and depending on the culture and people in translation to Sumerian, like Anton Parks, Zachariah Sitchin, all that, the Anunnaki refers to people from the stars, royal seed family.
Yeah.
In the Hopi, they're like the friends that they're depicted as either friends of humanity that either from the stars or below. They think the below ones are more friends, like the ant people that help them in time of catastrophe. And yeah, let's go into the Stargate. So I got this new artifact that pretty much depicts that type of thing, and the various erosion on it, pyramid, an eye window that you can see through. The
So you
pyramids, the
see how
Nubis.
they put the circle of the eye directly on top of the pyramid. If you was to make a circle around the eyeball, it's almost at the point of that pyramid, the exact same symbol just replicated over and over through all these digs, even in the movies.
Yeah. Right. So this could also depict a greater event that when the pyramids are capstoned, as they've gone above the pyramid with like copper wire, and it makes sparks and electricity and some weird things. So it looks like there's a greater technology that can come forward from that. And these guys at the top, it comes out. So you can see
That's
this
just
and
the
two.
natural byproduct of the pyramid shape. So you can show it with even a raw quartz crystal. So this isn't some fictional nonsense. So if you have a pointed crystal and shine light, you can see that little orb of light accumulated on top. So this is exactly the result of the structure, the pyramid. And so this is a Vogel crystal um, imitating the degrees of the natural pyramids we find in Mexico and Egypt. So this is very, very real. It's an accumulator of energy. So amazing.
Vogel went into a lot, including that crystals have a form of intelligence and will respond to you. And Kirlian Photography's Harry Oldfield filters have proved that where camera footage on the crystal will have it flash randomly as if it's giving off energy, and it's building off every once in a while with intelligent force. There's the eye being as well. And yeah. Okay. And I got another uh, big one. This one glows in UV lights. It's got more of the Anunnaki kind of garb on it with these long skull type beings all
Is that
around it.
energetically, is that some kind of viewport? Like if you
Yeah,
can
it's a
access it,
portal.
yeah, could you, is it designed to look into possibilities or timelines? Because I energetically, I see the hexagon shape and it looks like a viewport to me. I just feel it's a viewport. You can look into something if you can activate it. That's
That
crazy.
will be
I
activated
like
with
that.
water. You place it in shallow water to a degree where the edges, the hexagonal edges, are above the surface, and you can use this as a scrying portal. And this type of technology is replicated in every culture. Now, with the sacred symbols, this would allow you effectively to connect with those particular beings. So, this is incredibly fascinating. You see simplified versions of this reaching the current era. Wow.
I like that. Yeah, I'll try some things with it. So I've been able to activate some of the energy portals that connects to over 14 colonies of this long skull race throughout the solar system, meaning there's more planets than we talk about. And it it rings like a bell, it's resonant, it will activate some things. There's 1,000+ ways to activate artifacts, so keep
Ooh.
bringing on the different methods. Yeah, in the front top, I think it connects to Jupiter, and this back end it connects to Saturn.
Yeah.
Again, there's 14 plus other places, and there's all these, long skull venerated points of like some with bodies, some with spiritual bodies. And let me show you another big thing that's crazy as hell. Let's see if I can bring it up. Okay. Do you see this?
Is that dragon?
Okay. So there's different weird species.
Whoa. I think these are hybrids. These are hybrids of a number of
That's what I'm getting.
yeah, these are
Oh
not just
yeah.
one being. Uh Immediately just pouring in is this is a message of harmony. So the highest
Uh,
form of meritocracy or democracy, for what we understand in our limited point of view, equality of sentient life. And so these guys, for all intents and purposes, you can call them a federation where the dignified melding of species with integrity is welcomed. And so these guys are
nice.
way, way ahead of us.
And the
And
fact that
this
it's
one's big
double,
enough for you to fit through, by the way.
well, and the fact that it's double ringed means not only is it concentric, it's producing a tortial field that counter rotates. So those would rotate the exact opposite ways, and you even have the integrated circuits right there, the
Yeah,
same.
yeah,
It's the
yeah,
style that's on the Buga Sphere. Just over and over, they're showing these integrated circuits looking thing, and everything I
yeah.
see, it's a lot of Saturn symbolism. The previous piece it had the hexagon, and the hexagon is the shape that's produced on the North Pole of Saturn through the frequency that's being produced. So that's freaking awesome.
So what
Oh
what
yeah,
we
really good
what
points.
what what we're getting overwhelming is a multitude of species, and these guys were in contact with our ancestors. Now comes the point: what happened for the people of these regions to bury them? And so when you
It
look at the recent history, well, a bunch of savage Europeans coming over and burning and pillaging and melting everything. And so, if there's a genocide coming, village by village, towards you, you'd bury your sacred artifacts with the slight hope that you may survive. And so, these are items that survived the conquistadors. And so, this is a recent, let's say, from the 1500s onwards. That's the time of burial. They were carefully preserved.
Oh yeah, I think you're correct in that. It seems they were buried in multiple points in time. I would say during the Conquistador time would be a great one for some of the layers at the top. They would want to hide their stuff. It does seem like though, and there was a big spiritual invasion from the Vatican, false light angels and stuff that dominate places of power and objects of power, people of power. And that's one of the biggest things that is stealing from them, stealing parts and pieces, forcing the constants of our artifacts into a coma, which I'm healing on. Uh, and there seems to be other catastrophes, cataclysms talked about and venerated, and even needing to hide them. Some entombed, so them having time to do it, some not. So it seems multiple events of us having to secure them. Let's see here.
I'm
I
also seeing
will.
that some of these pieces energetically, I feel they're way too powerful to be uncovered because if they find themselves in the wrong hands, they're going to reverse engineer it and connect to places that we're not supposed to be going to because it's going to be weaponized. Every
Oh
time
yeah,
the
and
corporations
yeah.
figure out how powerful these technologies are, once they start, a lot of these technologies you find in the SSP, they produce a field, and that's why we're sent there. We have these sensors where we can just it's kind of like muons where you can send it through the earth and you these sensors pick up these frequencies, these fields. And some of these digs I go on, they're not safe to be around because it'll cause the DNA of the human body to unravel. And that's why they say some of these locations, if they have booby traps, not necessarily the buried ones, but the ones where you got to go in and go through stone buildings and shit. There's not just physical, like impaling kind of technologies. There's frequencies being produced that if you're not a hybrid and you've not been hybridized or a part of that original genetic signature, you will not be able to pass.
Yeah, I think so. Whenever we do digs, we do huge ceremonies with a lot of our time that venerate the land, talk to them, ask what they want, give them soul retrieval, healing, wholeness, awakening, depossession, purification. And I get on my knees and I ask for forgiveness for our species and everything going on, ask what they want, and keep giving them gifts, clear ego, attachment, greed. And I found if they don't like you, you won't find anything. If they do, you find a bunch of things. It even states of consciousness, people have taken DMT and they find more objects. They do a big prayer and the guy's like, oh, let's dig where you did the prayer. And they find things. It's like the earth shifts around for like a hologram for what is approved. I'd be interested to see what you guys find. Um, and yeah, I think there's a lot of security systems.
Yeah.
If you don't do that stuff, you will get cursed. Some places will just curse you automatically, like the giant mounds. I've found a few, they won't let anyone touch them. In order to even do something like that, you'd have to speak with the spirit of the giant that's buried and get it to like you, which they don't really like humans. So you're gonna be working up against a wave. And then I think there's a lot of like who's approved, whose DNA, who you are in soul past lives, and how much you give and the purposes, and if you align with them to where things would want you to dig them up without consequences. Otherwise, like people can come here and get sick, overwhelmed emotionally. The artifacts can cause drama in people's life to get them divided so they can't do the things. There's all kinds of things we've observed. It's really interesting. They'll haunt and possess people that they don't like.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, again, you want to be very venerating and be a good caretaker. Treat these well. They will empower the shit out of you if they like you. Um, so yeah, and there's all and more advanced the races that's behind that. I would say, yeah, there would be deeper level security systems going down. I've heard a lot of interesting things as well as memory retrieval. And I'm sure that people have seen Indiana Jones and the booby traps that are set up.
Mhm.
But I'll just go through the artifacts real quick and show your guess so we can get that out of the way if you want to ask any other questions. But yeah, there's like this, falcon one, kind of like the horse species, though we found multiple types, including ones with 2 wings, 4 wings, um, weird, gone into these
Four
eye
wings,
beings.
four wings
Yeah, four
typically mean
wings.
that they can go between the dimensions. The single wings, a set of single wings typically represent a planet-based being that can be hierarchical, but typically, again, two wings means they step between the worlds. Kind of like on Anunnaki, you see they have horns on their head. They have two or three sets of horns that wrap around, but you don't know they're horns because they're not sticking out like this. They wrap. And that's where the horn symbolism comes from. So I forgot what I was talking about. I got locked into freaking horn
The wings
symbolism.
and the horns, interdimensional movement.
Yeah, so like the Apkallu, they'll have two sets of wings, or like the Seraphim, like the dragons, they'll have multiple sets of wings because it's showing that they're accessing multiple dimensions. The more wings you have, the more multiple dimensions you can access.
Yep, yep.
Yeah, that's one of my thoughts too, that it's venerating status and ability and possible higher dimensions. And the pineal with the pine cone being introduced to their head, multiple chakras. Okay.
I would love to see where me and Amir get down to Mexico and we all go on a dig together because
Yeah,
mixing all
we'd
three of
love to
our
have
energy
you.
together, dude, like there's no way we're not going to find stuff. Have there
Right.
ever been objects that you had to give back to the earth, like you were saying, the ones that were maybe too powerful or they had attachments to it? Because I made a 8 foot by 8 foot by 8 foot by 8 foot pyramid over my king size bed one time and made a copper. And I had to get rid of it after about 4 months because I had the most intense dreams that I've ever had in my entire life. And they were way too freaking intense for me. So I had to take down the copper pyramid. It was intense.
Cool. That's well made then. I haven't returned some. I found haunted ones, but I know depossession and clearing and quarantining and capturing the entities. So like I get them to. There was one was like a fire demon, so I had to like to get that out of the space. Um, haven't really had much trouble with them besides that. I would just say that's okay strategy to do if it's too overwhelming and you have a sovereignty thing. Though if they don't want to be taken, then you look out for that and look out for what they communicate. This is a nice spear thing that I use to take care of some predators from a distance, and it's got like this cool ET to human to a dog person type of thing going on with it.
The being
And
there, it's sitting in the position of Zasaphili, the I think it's the Aztec god. I have
cool.
Zasaphili spray painted on a piece of art in my living room. Um,
Hmm.
it's sitting in that position. So that makes me think it's a specific type of archetype in Mexico because their
Interesting.
positions always tell you typically who they are a lot of times if it's Mexican stuff,
Similar
South
Okay,
American
I'll
artwork
look
stuff.
into that.
in New Zealand. Same type of posture, same type of artwork you'd find in the traditional artwork of New Zealand. These beings have been around, but you'll find this in
Interesting.
with multiple of these species. They're not just Egypt or South America. It seems everywhere. Northern Europe, Middle East, China. They've been interacting with humanity for a very long time. So to the naysayers out there, hello, buddy. The world is a big place. The cosmos
Okay,
is
right.
teeming with life. And so open your mind and open your heart, and it'll do you good for many reasons.
Oh,
Start believing in
absolutely.
magic. That's what I tell the muggles. Believe in magic, and you don't have to believe in it, but once you actually do, you see that magic is real. You start
Yeah,
getting
it's a
downloads, amazing things.
oh yeah, it's a skill. It takes knowledge and dedication, and then there's weight training with it because this world is a lot harder to do from the dream realms and stuff. So here's an example. We were finding dragons like the Chinese lung or Quetzalcoatl. This one has an ET head in the center. It goes into shape shifting. Yeah, I've heard of the Thoth thing.
Pineal gland.
I've heard of the Thoth thing and I'm open to it. Though we're finding ibis species here and dragons. And eagle people and hawk and the falcon. So there it seems the Egyptian stories, they're not just a person, there's multiple of their races. Some will have formed multiple terrains
Yeah.
of genetic engineering for their species, including mermaid bodies, multiple
Yeah.
wings. Here's another one that could be like a reptoid, like the Draco, or
A
the
raptor,
alligator
raptors.
people,
Yeah.
or
That
raptors, or
that
dinosaur.
face looks like the one that's at Chichen Itza with Coco Khan. It has the same facial structure that's physically carved at Chichen Itza. So that's another interesting kind of facet as well.
Yeah, yeah. There's multiple reptoids and
Yeah.
naga and
And there's that damn
raptor
handbag
species.
everyone wants to say they know what it is.
Yeah,
It's Gucci,
All the
man. Come on.
Anunnaki.
Of course, it's Gucci.
right, right. Oh yeah,
Gotta
yeah,
keep all
yeah.
my
We found a
intergalactic
few.
crystals in it.
Yeah, we found a few of the Gucci handbags. Um, yeah, they're powerful. Now let me see if I can get these really heavy ones up for you. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, here's one of our crystal skulls.
Whoa.
This one brought a lot of awareness, truth, and superpower dreams to me, like telekinesis, levitation, teleporting ones. Those are really nice. It's got
It's
a
just
mermaid
blasting.
thing, like I was saying before,
It's
mermaid types of their
blasting
species.
energy into my Jade Gate, man. That thing is powerful.
Thank you. Yeah, it's really
Whoa.
intelligent, very good at talking to people. UFOs on it, all these planets.
One thing I
With
would
the
recommend, Sean, is to get some black acrylic paint, water it down, and smear it over the crystal, wipe off the excess, and it's going to
The
stain the
etchings.
channels, all the
mm,
etchings. So all that black you see where it's not, acrylic paint can just simply be taken right off a crystal. But that'll fill up all the channels and all that will come to
oh,
life. That's how we
that's a nice idea.
it's a secret with making cosplay armor and stuff. You're basically lining the crevices and it activates. It's like when you carve armor and you want to make it look old. One little patina over it, dude, it's going to show all that detail.
Whoa.
Cool. Yeah, and here's the double eye of Ra of Horus. Here's a Thoth-like being. Here's an Anubis-like being. And here's like a two-winged long skull cephalopod being, though, and he's on like a DNA helix right
I was going to
here.
ask about that. Yeah.
Oh my God, that
Yeah,
thing is powerful. Has it
I'm
given
thinking
you its
about doing
name?
the
It's
acrylic,
it's
but like, go ahead,
setting
sorry,
the
this.
back of my skull on fire, and so that's
Oh, then it
access to the
likes you.
Akashic. Whoa. Okay,
That's
that's the
cool. It
proof in
likes
the
you.
pudding. Oh my God. Please, do a little googie goo to it. Say I love you too.
I will. Yeah, feel free to communicate with it. If it's doing that, it will communicate with you from a distance
Yes,
when
please.
you'd
Oh my
like.
God.
Yeah, that one's good. Yeah, I might do the acrylic thing. I'm a little hesitant on it because that stuff in it is dirt. So here's a image of it so that you kind of know the dirt just comes off later. And then I'll get that.
Whoa.
Uh, And yeah, we're finding a bunch, and that's a species. We found a bunch of different ones. For this one is the rare one. Oh god. That you saw a video of.
Yeah, that's impressive.
And it's got the different long skulls, some with mermaid type bodies. Uh, some type of obsidian.
Wow.
It's very powerful, very good at superpowers. Here's
And
that
that.
orichalcum chip.
Whoa.
That gold color, is that a literal mineral that was etched into it that has that gold effect?
Orichalcum, it's like Atlantis alloy that has gold, copper, silver, zinc,
Mhm.
and a bunch of other things. It's really hard to make. They don't know how to make it now. So that's why it's like a crazy little rabbit hole to go now. But yeah, it looks like it's a chip that has advanced intelligence in it. Here's the other end.
So there's so much symbology you find in many cultures. So the wings on the forehead, we are the people of the flying mind. Open up the eyes of your heart and you shall see. So it's just starting to stream in immediately. It starts talking to you. These devices are powerful.
Thank you. Now I'm gonna hold this up like really quick because God, it's heavy. I'll do it for you guys.
Thank you.
So,
Oh, goodness me.
so it's a UFO. Oh God. Yeah, it's really heavy. Oh my God. And so the top part, life started star with crystal. This little guy here. Interesting type of species.
You think that maybe can house the intelligence of that exact species in that top stone, that cover stone that you just had?
Yeah, it has some parts that are alive and awake of the species. And a lot of the UFOs have, again, a crystalline intelligence AI in it, and this one definitely does. Very powerful at it. It knew about the future too. It told me crazy stuff like the soul flare thing. And here's what's inside it: this quartz crystal alien dude hugging him like a baby jaguar or something.
You think that is a symbolism of a hybrid, those two beings merging together? Because it looks like a union of some kind.
It's
It could
the
be.
yeah, yeah.
I would say
Interesting.
this species is very closely associated with the jaguars, so they might have been very involved in finding out wherever the hell jaguars come from and what they are now.
Well,
Don't you
This
have
is
lion.
on
also a
planet.
jaguar skull?
What?
Don't you also have a jaguar skull or something like that? Yeah, that
Yeah,
thing's
I have
awesome.
a regular one and a black jaguar skull. Yeah.
So
Uh,
Earth is very unique
Slayer again.
because the hybridization process would not be viable in any other part of, let's say, this neighboring cluster of galaxies. Earth is special because the hybrids take, and maybe they have no human in them, but it becomes possible here. Wow, this guy, wow.
Sean, say something so the screen can get full screen so we can see it.
Hey, Sean Bond, here's a kind of like a hawk
That
avian
is that is beyond
type
impressive.
crystal skull.
Wow.
This one's very rare type.
Wow.
Not found many of those.
I'm
But
gonna have to definitely bring some cash Ola when I come to Mexico and be like, all right, man, what can you part with, brother? What is for me that needs to activate me that what is for me that you unearthed that was supposed to come to me and you were the caretaker in that moment. You know what
okay,
I'm
I
saying?
can help you with that. That'll be fun. Yeah,
Sean,
I'll rough with that, but yeah.
are you doing more sacred trips? I just want to call them pilgrimages. It's honoring the sacred land and the wisdom of our ancestors. This is the heritage of humanity. So are you doing any more tours in Mexico?
Yeah, we'll be doing them in the future, just setting up and getting the whole itinerary and finishing on other plans. So we'll let you know when we're doing that. We're doing a bunch of advertising for it. So like, so anything else you want to talk about? Uh, since I've
I'm
shown my
still blown away. Um, I think our wonderful audience would have felt an effect. It's kind of impossible not to be touched and moved, even by just observing them. You know, through the medium of digital communications and a camera, they still speak with you. I think that is all the proof that you would need to at least become curious about the validity of this type of technology. It's our heritage, and so often we may think, what have these Anunnaki and Draco reptilians been doing all this time? Well, they've been blocking a flood just by trying to stand in its path. It doesn't work. They may destroy things, they may destroy cultures, erase memories, commit genocide, but it does not hold a candle to the sun that humanity is. And so I think it's an auspicious time where many of these are coming back into the common consciousness, the general awakened consciousness, not just the subconscious of our species. So, as my wonderful friend Sean has said, maintain your healthy skepticism, but also maintain your curiosity. Whoa.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. People be skeptical. It's just don't give up on exploring this because there's a lot of evidence for it. So that like Stargates, all that. They're soft disclosing on a lot of things for us. And the Earth is getting a treasure trove of undiscovered thing. Barely anyone digs down. Some places it's illegal. If you dig in Egypt and you find artifacts, they'll under your land, they'll confiscate your land, not give you anything. It's you barely have any incentive. And then yeah, it's like a library. It's a jewel of the world, hybrids, races, multiple realms, multiple realities, so many things to discover. So it's beautiful here, even though all the crap, it's just outweighs it when you just find out what level of things are here for us to discover and make it way worthwhile.
So, this is really the purpose of disclosure. Any form or format or gathering claiming disclosure which does not point to the spiritual aspect of this, which neglects to mention that we are sparks of the divine, is deceiving us. Pointing to shiny objects in the sky, oh, look at the shiny light. Well, that shiny light is called the TR3B and it's manufactured by Lockheed Martin or some other corporation, while the main point of observation must be within. We are the technology, we are the big deal. And so, looking at some of the stuff our wonderful ancestors have been dealing with and working with, it should give us hope. We are the same, we are divine.
And Sean, in the end, I wanted to say I have this ability where I can psychically see people's probable timelines of what they're going to achieve. And I just saw that you were one of the main bridges in South America that fought the architecture of the control with releasing the truth. And it was your entire lifetime and the connections you made. And it was your and Isha's work that literally bridged things that would not have been possible without you. And it's you being there now, digging this up with your own hands, leaving with the energy of the dirt under your fingers. You're doing things that most people will never have the opportunity to ever do. So I just want to say, man, you're really important in this movement
You too.
on this planet, and just the honor to be able to speak to these beings and exchange everything you do. You're a special person, man, and I don't meet a lot of people that have abilities like you. So I just wanted to, in the end, everybody, contact Sean Bond at psionicleague.com, get a reading from him, follow him on Facebook, follow his YouTube, and just make sure you give us all that contact information, because like Sean's an untapped resource, man. Once you connect with him, your mind's blown. So like that's it. Your mind's blown.
Thank you so much for that. Yeah, and same with you. You're making the world a better place. You're able to tap into so much. You remember so much. You help so many people transition past their hidden PTSD and what's going on with them, and so with such strength in the reality. So thank you for your super strength. And also, like we can go into this, looking for people to talk about super strength with better shows, and you're one of the people that I know that has had it. So that'll be fun. Thank you also, Amir, for everything you're doing, your light, your magic, your holding the line in England area is like one of the big people that making more revolution, and as well as in Iran and many other things that you hold back so much negativity in what the dark wants to do in the timeline, and with each person you help, it turns on this locomotion snowball effect that I'm seeing will happen every time you do. So thank you for it. And yeah, so yeah, also please plug your work. I'll love to upload this on my channel too. I'm Sean Bond, Sonic League, sonicleague.com if you reach me for consultation, hearing, clearing, unlock your dormant abilities, amplify third eye, telepathy, psychic tracking, abundance, many other things. If you want to go in the alien artifacts, feel free to contact me. If you want to become a contactee, trip inquiry to mycycleweek@gmail.com if you want to go on trips like pyramids, place power, turn on your superhuman abilities. I also go to different conferences. I'll be going to the Miles Johnson one. Meet you get Dr. Muir there. So hit us up for that in the coming months, as well as some alien band things. And yeah, how do people reach you guys?
Drago, go ahead, please.
Awesome. You can find me at fractaloflight.com. That's located at the bottom of my screen. You can also please follow my new podcast. I only just released it about 3 months ago. My Portal to Another Dimension. I moved it from Rumble. Now it's on YouTube again. And obviously follow me in Amir's new podcast, The Spiritual Bro Show. Like, dude, this is a fun time. We're getting to all kinds of cool realms, and like it's a joy to be working with you, Amir. You know what I'm saying? So
It's an honor. Well, we
other than
get
that,
to we
one
get to
thing
hold
I would
space
say
for.
is I also have a clothing resale business. Follow it at tie-dyed_sunsets on Poshmark or eBay. I sell a bunch of cool, fancy clothes, tie-dyed shirts, music tees. I get into some fun stuff. What about you, buddy?
Yep. Find me at wizardofwivenhoe.co.uk, Wizard of Wivenhoe on Facebook and YouTube. I love you guys. Thank you all for your time. We freaking love you. Keep tuned in. We'll try to maintain our standard of esteemed guests, and so that they can share their story, their journey, and their insights with you. Much love,
Yeah,
everybody. Thank you.
destroy
Thank you
that
so.
like, share this with friends, subscribe to all our channels. Get this out there. More people that share this see the view count. We'll do more of these shows. Um, Go to these two first sessions. It's beautiful. Quantum healing, hypnosis, please. Really powerful. And yeah, to Amir, get a big energy car wash, healing. Unlock your greatest self. Let's spread this around, make the world a better place, get it to those that need it. Love you all.
Much love. Till the next time. Thank you, everyone.